Hey guys, it's Carl Brown from GuitarLessons365.com. Today we're going to begin our look at Flying in a Blue Dream by Joe Satriani. So we're going to take care of just the first lead guitar section that is in this video. We'll take a look at the chords. I'm going to do a separate video just to kind of let you know what's going on in the tuning and the rhythm guitar parts behind it. But I'm going to go ahead and jump into the main solo parts of the song first. So this is part one of that. So we're going to do the main melody, what I just played, and the first half of the main guitar solo. All right, so let's go through it here. We're in standard tuning, and we're going to start with a little bit, the phrasing is a bit odd, so you got to really listen to the melody a lot. You slide into the first note. So you kind of slide down into the 5th fret there on the B string, hit that a few times, and then slide into the 7th fret. And then slide into 7th again. And then you hammer on 7 to 8. Then slide 8 to 10. And then back to 8. So we kind of have this. All right, from there we have the second half of that phrase. All right, so we're basically sliding into the 5th fret from above again, and then sliding into the 7th fret basically 3 times, and then one more time going into that hammer-on over the 7th fret on the high E string, and then back to the 8th fret on the B string there. Now we're going to move up. All right, so we're going to slide into the 13th fret there on the B, then pick it again, and then same thing at the 50th. And then 16, just pick it, no slides. Over to 15 on the high E. Over to 18 on the B string. Back to 18 this time on the high E string. And then you do a quick little legato lick from that top. So you're going to pull off 18 to 15, hammer on 18 on the B string, pull off 15, hammer on 17 on the G, pull off 15, and the same thing there on the D. So you don't really need any picking there. So. All right, from there, all right, so we're picking 17th fret there a couple times, still on the B string, and then slide into the 19th fret twice. Then pick, do a hammer, over to 19 on the high E, then 20 back on the B. While you're letting that sustain, you're really going to want to keep the, everything kind of moving, muted, that is. So, the tone setting that I'm using has a lot of sustain on it. So, I'll write down the tone settings for you guys that I'm using with my Fractal Audio, and I'll make sure that it's on the website so you can just at least see the settings that I'm using. All right, so we're going to start here. Now the top. So that's just 21 twice in the high E, then up to 22. Little vibrato bar, slide down to the 19, and then up to 20, and let it sustain. And the feedback really just kind of takes over. There's a lot of feedback use in this song. And then we have, it grabs the 3rd fret there on the A string, and then starts adding some pinch harmonics to it as he starts building into the solo. So now that we've made it to the solo, let me play through the first half of it for you, and then we'll check it out phrase by phrase. All right, so that's as far as we're gonna get with this one. So, in this video at least, but it's kind of the halfway point of that solo. A lot of crazy legato licks, as is the case always with Joe Satriani. So let's start here with this first kind of phrase. Now, for anybody who's ever learned this Joe Satriani stuff before, he has this legato technique, which he calls his rolling ball of mercury. The patterns aren't really that set in stone. He's really kind of just kind of so if you had a little pattern like that, go like pull off all the way down, come back up, then pull off just the middle note. That's what he'll do. He'll take that shape and then he'll just move it around the scale form, just through the scale. So getting this down individually, each note for note, it's really about the vibe of what he's doing. And when he holds, it goes down to a note. So he's doing a legato lick between those 3 notes to start with the solo. And then he slides it down to the 2nd fret. So we have this. All right, from there he goes back to the legato lick between 3, 5, and 7. And you can see where he's pausing on certain notes. So you see that? Comes over to you're still doing 7, 5, 3 on the B string, but he plays that 7, and then that legato lick again, then back into the 5th fret on the B. So here it is. Slow it down some. From there he digs. Now he's going between, let me show you the notes real quick. So he does it, the legato lick between 3, 5, 7 on the B. Then 4, 5, 7 on the G. And then he'll jump up between 5, 7, and 9. So this. Then you're back to 4, 5, 7. And then 2, 5, 4. So he kind of had this. Actually, go over, if you're doing 4, 5, 7 on the G, go over to 4, 5, 7 on the D. So we have this. And then do the same lick down here at 2, 4, and 5 on the D. All right, so we're taking that kind of legato concept and just taking it through the scale. All right, so then slide in 2 to 4 and back to 2 on the D. All right, now we had this longer phrase. All right, so crazy stuff abounds, but like I said, he's never going to play it the same way twice anyway, but he does use the same scale patterns where he's doing his legato licks. So you want to just kind of focus on getting your legato licks going, and then you can do the same legato effect he's doing. Now he's using 2-3-5 on the low E, 2-3-5 on the A, and 3-5-7 for this first lick. So he's kind of doing this. He starts on the 5th fret, pull off the 2, hammer 3-5, then 2-3-5 on the A, and then pull off 7-5-3 on the A. So it is. All right, so after doing that 3 times, he starts going through the same legato licks. Like I said, it's kind of just a legato effect. It's not a set pattern, but you need to know where he's putting this, where he's playing it though. So after you hear the 3-5-7, you go to 4-5-7 on the D and 4-5-7 on the G. And then do the same thing, 5-7-9 on the D and 5-7-9 on the G. So we have this. And all the way up to 7-8-10 on the B and 7-8-10 on the high. And then he does the same lick between 8, 10, and 12 on that high E and the B. So we have this all together. And when you get to that top note, that the 12th fret on the high E, you tap your pick at the 14th fret on the high E, slide up to 15, pull back off to, slide back down to 14. And then do legato lick between it. So like I said, if these legato licks are very confusing to you, or this effect, then it's probably not a song you should be tackling. This kind of concept should be pretty easy to you by just practicing legato and knowing just kind of how it works. This is really just kind of telling you where to put your fingers at. So as you work your way up, and we have that, we end it with just kind of this burr of tapping and that little legato lick. All right, and now we have the next phrase, which is a little bit more easy to get note for note. Sounds like this. All right, so we're going to start with a big 1.5-step bend at the 13th fret on the B string. And release. But then so we go, that's 11 on the high E, 15 on the B, back to the 11. Then pull off 15 to 11 and slide down to 10. Really cool lick. Then you slide into that 12th fret on the G, then down to 7, 8 on the D string, 10 on the A, and then you do a bend to the 6th fret there on the A string. All right, and then 7, 8, 10 on the G, bend at the 10th fret, then pull off 10, 8, and then now you're doing a bar dive as you play the 15th fret on the G. You really don't pick anything. Bar dive, release, and pull off to the 12. And then it resolves there to the 16th fret there. And when you get to the 16th fret, you're going to be pulling off to 12 over to 16 on the D string. And then the last little lick, you're going to pull off 16 to 12 on the D, slide down to 7 on the A. Sorry, on the D strings, the A note you slide to. And then you're going to hammer 9, 10, pull back to 9, 7, bend and release, or and you play this. There's just 5, 3, 2 on the A string. With a bend there on the 2. And then one of Satriani's signature things, just hit an open string with a little harmonic on it, a pinch harmonic. All right, and then he goes into this phrase, it's really cool sounding. All right, so that starts here at the 9th fret on the A string. Goes 9, 10, 9. And then we go 13, 14 on the A. There's a little quick mutes between each group of notes. Little quick down up on a muted. So we have 13, 14 on the A, then 13, 14 on the D. So we have this so far. All right, move it up to 16th and 17th on the D string. 15, 16 on the G. Back to 16, 17 for the B string. Then up to 19 and 20 on that B string. Whole step bend there at the 22nd fret. Then you play 19, bend and release at the 21st fret on the G string. All right, next phrase. All right, so this was a fun one. You're gonna pull off, you can play 19 on the high E string, pull off to 15, and then hammer on the 19th fret on the B and pull off to the 15 on the B. So really the only note you're picking is the very top note, and it's paused, you hold it slightly before you do the full legato leg. Into the 20th fret bend. All right, and then we have 17, 19, 20 on the B string, back to 17 on the high E. Bend and release, half step bend and release at the 19th fret on the B string there. And then the F sharp here, the 9th fret on the A string. Slight bend and release there. We have this. All right, now we have this ascending lick, which is a little bit awkward. There's not like a uniform pattern to it. So it's gonna sound like this. Kind of went past it a little bit so you know where it's at in the solo. All right, so we're gonna kind of really heavily palm mute this, especially on the low strings. we're going to have down up on the 11th fret on the A, then 13, 11. Then we're going to have 10, 12. I'm going to play the 12 twice. Then 13 twice. Then play 10, 12 on the G. So far we have this. Then 13 twice on the G. 15 on the G to 13 on the B. Each one of those was just once. And then 15 twice on the B. 16 twice. Then 18 once. 15 once on the high E. 16 twice. And then 18. So we have this real slow. All right, from there we have that next phrase. All right, that was a cool one. So we have bend at the 20th fret there, high E string. Then pick it without being bent twice. Then half step bend and release at the 19, and then that's 17 on the high E, 20 on the B, whole step bend and release at the 19th fret on the G. Pull off to 13, so it is. Then put 19 back down, a little bit of our vibrato bar. Pull off to 16. From here, that's pulling off 17 to 16 on the D, over to 19 on the G, pick 16, slide down to 14 on the D, into 16 on the G. Really cool phrase there, it's really cool. And we're going to end this first half with this quick little descending legato lick. Sounds like this. You got that? All right, see it. Just kidding. All right, no, I'll just take it once again. It's just one of those legato things. You can just kind of get a fun little legato lick going. At that speed, they all sound the same. So we're just basically gonna, I'm gonna show you the notes. So he's gonna do that 3-note legato licks. 14, 12, and 10 on the high E. And then 8, 10, and 12 on the high E. Then 7, 8, 10. And then 5, 7, 8. So we're just kind of, you don't need to pick anything, just the very first note. Take that over to 5, 7, 8 on the B string. And then 5, 7, 4 on the G. And then 2, 4, 5 on the G. Or you can, and then 2, 4, 5 on the D. So we have this. And that little, he ends up with the open D string, a little slight harmonic on it. And then we get kind of to a different section of the solo. That's why I stopped there. And we'll pick it up there in the next lesson, and just kind of show you what's going on for the rest of the solo and the rest of the song that does the main melody at the end. All right, I'll see you then.